All right, so here it is. This is the predominant first-time buyer down payment assistance loan in Texas. Today we're going to go over the different options you can do here, the restrictions, underwriting, the biggest advantages versus other down payment assistance loans and non-down payment assistance loans, and against TDHCA, the other big one in Texas. Why you would want to use this, and then just show you like a sample estimate for a $350,000 purchase price. I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but I'll just keep it simple. Starting with, guess what? You don't even have to be a first-time buyer for this to get one of these. But basically, you're going to get a down payment assistance lien in the form of a few different options, where you can choose from
up to 2% to 5% of the sales price.
In those down payment assistance liens, you can choose to get a first-time buyer only deal, or you can get a deal where you don't have to be a first-time buyer for. The first-time buyer deal, aka what's called the My First Texas Home,
may have lower rates.
But the first-time buyer deal can not use a conventional loan. It can come with some tighter restrictions on that. The first-time buyer, My First Texas Home, can only be a FHA, USDA, or VA loan. So that's one part. It can be first-time buyer or not first-time buyer. And then number two, the down payment assistance can either be
forgiven or repayable.
Repayable meaning you have to at least send that chunk of money back to the program one day once it's all said and done, once you've sold the house or refinanced or have paid the thing off, the whole first loan off. But the
forgiven
is where that chunk of money that you're given becomes yours after you hold the house for 3 years. Now the
forgiven
loan, since they're giving you that money for good, eventually that has a higher rate than the down payment assistance loans that you eventually pay back, the repayable ones. And no payment needs to be made on these down payment assistance loans, these second liens, which is awesome. So I'm going to show you a sample of this deal. I'm going to show you a My Choice, where you don't have to be a first-time home buyer, Texas loan with a repayable second lien. So the better rate versus the deferred, where they give you the money after 3 years, and a deal where you're getting a conventional loan paired with it. So here you go here. You got a $350,000 purchase price, which is down in the right-hand corner here. Prepaid items of about $48.48. You got closing costs of $66.93. You are going to have to pay a 0.5 percentage of the loan amount, first trust loan amount fee, in order to get this. That's where you see this 0.5% of the loan amount right at the very top. But these are like standard, closing cost fees here. There's not a whole lot different or huge fees lumped in here, other than the top fee. Maybe you see like a filing fee in here, an administration fee, just a couple small ones. In the bottom right-hand corner, you're looking at cash to close. You see the subordinate financing item here, $16,975. That's 5% of the first loan amount. So it's not 5% of the whole sales price, but that's going to take your cash to close down to $6,700. All right, so if you don't have that, your cash to close is looking like $23,000 and change. And what's also huge about this is sellers, you can negotiate with them to have them pay a chunk of your closing costs too. Now that's really decided by the agents and your agent, but and I don't do that part for you. But you might be able to walk into closing without even having to have paid any more money, because you pay your home inspection and your appraisal fee out of pocket before going to closing. And then voila, like we see this happen all the time, where people bring, after they pay those couple fees and we negotiate out with the sellers, maybe you're paying like $1,000 altogether on closing day. If you get that $6,700 chunk whittled down for and mostly covered by the sellers. So that's why you want to use this program. That is the power and the beauty of this. It's hard to save up money to buy a house. The average first-time buyer age keeps rising and rising, but this is great. And you see a payment here. You got your principal, interest, insurance, taxes, mortgage insurance. That mortgage insurance is actually a pretty good rate. That's assuming you have real good credit score. But then the HOA fee at the bottom there, $75, that wouldn't even be collected as part of this whole payment. That's the product in a scenario sample. You can pair what's called an MCC on this, a mortgage credit certificate. It can help you get even further tax savings. And right now, permanent rate downs are available on this product. This news just hit my inbox for the first time, like yesterday. So you get even more flexibility and options here. Believe me, down payment assistance loans, they almost never have rate buy down options. They just say, hey, here's your given rate for the day. But now that's changing. And by the way, guys, if you are buying your first home, I'd love to help you out. You can apply with me, see the message here below, and check out my playlist section as well. If you want to watch that first time buyer playlist, it's going to teach you everything that I would know if I was in your shoes and didn't know any of this stuff. Highly recommend that. So now let's move to the restrictions on this. There are income limits based upon the county you buy in. Where I do business, mostly in Austin, in Texas, where you're going to see Travis, Williamson, Hayes, Caldwell, Bastrop counties. Those have an income limit of up to $227,460 if you're making over 80% of the area median income limit. That's crazy. I mean, you don't see that in these types of things. They want you below like 130K or within 80K. This is really very inclusive of every type of buyer out there. And there's sale price limits by county. But the non-first time buyer loans don't have any. Only my first Texas home deals here have those sale price limits. And even those are still pretty relaxed. Next part here, underwriting, and we're just about done. You got to have a 620 minimum credit score. The debt to income ratio is good here. Really no further restrictions on this past what the servers at Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the FHA, VA, the USDA, when we get an approval certificate for you, say, hey, here's basically what debt to income ratio you can go up to. We don't see any further overlays on this. Really no payment shock or previously living rent-free restrictions. You can do 1 to 4 unit homes here. There's no max savings requirement. They're not going to say, hey, you have too much money saved up in the bank, you can't do this. And you can even own another property at the time of purchase, as long as the new home will be your primary. Huge win there versus other down payment assistance loans. Now, you must reside in Texas during the time of application, so you can't just be coming in from Nevada and buy with this. A home buyer education course is required. That's not too long. It's going to take you, an hour or two online to do. And co-signers can possibly be used. They're not allowed to live in the property and be on title. For Fannie Mae, the co-signer income would be counted in determining if you're eligible under that income limit. But then for government loans, FHA loans, VA, USDA, the co-signer income would not be considered when, seeing if you fall under the income limit for this file or not. And again, we're just much bigger fans of this because you can do conventional versus, T-Shack. It's just really tough on conventional buyers with their income limit. Yeah, look, guys, we use this loan for people because it's tough to get savings. I'd say about a third of my first-time buyers are using deals like this right now. And this is very, very purchase buyer friendly with really loose guidelines on here compared to other deals like this across the country. But guys, you can do this. You can get this done, believe me, and I want to help you. You want to do this? Give me a call, give me a text. I'll get you hooked up with the application and get you into your home. So guys, thank you for watching, and I hope I do hear from you here soon. Thank you.